You are Locked On Knicks POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, let's do it. Both the Knicks and Cavs played last night. They both won last night. They both traveled last night. Much different story today. Knicks and Cavs in Cleveland. It was a thorough beatdown by Cleveland. Cavs won it 142-105. And unfortunately, it was clear as day the Knicks are not on the level of Cleveland. The Knicks' 3-game win streak is history. They've now lost both games to the Cavs this season. 2 more to go before it's all over. All right, folks. I'm Jay Berman, and welcome to the Knicks Postcast. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Again, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Knicks Postcast, both on the Locked On Sports New York YouTube channel and the Locked On Knicks podcast feed. The Postcast, which is this, gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Seemed like Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns certainly showed up. Not sure about anyone else. The captain had 26, Cat had 23. Believe it or not, at one point tonight, the Knicks trailed by 41. The largest deficit of the season. Now, OG Anunoby did return. Josh Hart sat again. And now New York gets the Celtics in Boston on Sunday afternoon. We'll get to the schedule coming up. All of that coming up on the Postcast. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Also want to mention your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. As we said, just destruction from beginning to end. Jalen Brunson actually scored the first 9 points for the Knicks. Knicks actually had a 7-4 lead. Brunson pumped in 16 in the first quarter. However, even with 16 from the captain in the very first quarter, the Knicks trailed by 12 after 1. Cleveland outscored them 41-29. It got worse in the second quarter. Cleveland outscored New York 36-21. So at the break, the Knicks had given up 77 points, tied for the most they've given up in any half this season. So again, just breakdowns everywhere as the Knicks lose to Cleveland. As we said, Knicks allowed 77 points in the first half, tied for the most in any half. So the Knicks' 3-game win streak is over. They are now 37-19 and 17-9 away. To be fair, it's the best team in the league in Cleveland, obviously the best team in the Eastern Conference as well, but they're also the best home team, 26-4 at home. And they struggled to win in Brooklyn last night, and that certainly put up a fight. The Knicks did not. So it tells you all you need to know about where the Knicks are. As we said, Karl Anthony Towns had 23 on 10 of 15 shooting. Very efficient night for Cat. Of course, much of it coming when the Knicks were down big. Jalen Brunson, 10 of 17, also an efficient night. He had 26, but you got to see these plus-minus numbers for both teams, really. Just gruesome stuff for the Knicks and unbelievable stuff from Cleveland. Cleveland got 27 from Donovan Mitchell, our old friend, of course, the New Yorker and the big Met fan. In just 26 minutes, was 10 of 15 shooting, hit 5 3-pointers, and again, pumped in 27. Evan Mobley had 21. If you were watching early, it was all about points in the paint, and that's certainly where Cleveland dominated. The Knicks had no answer for Mobley or Jared Allen, who actually left with a sore hand after playing just 20 minutes. But again, you also have to see these minutes or lack thereof from Cleveland. Once they got up really in the 30s, it was all she wrote. In fact, very early stages of the fourth quarter, all 10 starters were out of there. There were backups, 5 Knicks backups, 5 Cav backups. And that was early in the fourth quarter with more than 10 minutes to play, and the benches had already been empty. The leader in minutes tonight for the Knicks, 29 each for Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. No Knick got to the 30-minute mark. And obviously, considering last night was 4 Knicks starters over 40 minutes when the team went to overtime with Chicago, not much of a surprise to see those numbers go way down tonight, especially in a blowout. Precious Achiuwa was 3 of 10 from the floor. Mikal Bridges was efficient early, slowed down late, and then once the fourth quarter hit, nobody was playing. He was 6 of 13. As for OG, he returned. Scary moment at one point in the second half where it looked like he re-injured that right foot. He did stay in. Now, weren't sure exactly how many minutes OG was going to get if the game was close. The game was not close, so we don't have to worry about it. OG played just 27 minutes, scored just 5 points. Josh Hart, who's sitting at home watching this game thinking, ouch, ouch. And the Knicks certainly missed Josh Hart. Just the third game of the season that Hart has missed, and the second straight missed game. Of course, the first one was last night. The Knicks defeated the Bulls there. And, of course, they lose to Cleveland tonight. The sore knee for Josh Hart, the bad foot for OG. They flipped spots. Hart sat, and OG played. Every single Knick, with the exception of Tyler Kolek, came off the bench. Ryan, Hukporti, Payne, McBride, Wright, Shamet, and Dadier all played minutes, and they all played significant minutes. Pacome Dadier played 12 minutes. Landry Shamet played 19. Even Ariel Hukporti, for a second consecutive night, got up there in minutes, 19 for him. We mentioned the plus-minus numbers. They are ugly. Precious was a minus 25, minus 23 for OG, minus 22 for Mikal Bridges, minus 21 for Karl Anthony Towns. So, again, ugly stuff all around as the Knicks lose 142-105. Just some notes on the Cavs. 6 straight wins. They've now won 10 of 11, and obviously a very comfortable lead in the Eastern Conference. They're now 6 up on the Celtics and 9 up on the Knicks. Just a few more notes. If you recall, Cleveland started the season 15-0. Old friend Kenny Atkinson has been terrific. One of those 15 wins, the third game of the season at Madison Square Garden, and the Cavs beat the Knicks there. That was one of those 15 wins. It came again in late October, the third game of the season. Some outstanding numbers here from Cleveland. They're 41-0 when leading after 3 quarters. Tremendous stuff. They have 34 of 46 victories this year have come by double digits. Again, they're 46-10, and 34 of those 46 wins have come by at least 10 points. Even more amazing is the three-pointer for Cleveland. They live and die by it, much like the Bulls do. Bulls tend to die by it. Cleveland tends to live by it. 61 straight games with at least 10 three-pointers. Tonight, they almost doubled it. 19 of 37 from three-point land for Cleveland, including 5 from Donovan Mitchell, 4 from DeAndre Hunter, and what a pickup that was. Craig Porter Jr. hit 3 threes off the bench. Again, 19 for 37 from beyond the arc for Cleveland. That's 52%. Overall, what a night shooting for Cleveland. 61%, 56 of 92. Contrast that with the Knicks. Knicks were 42 of 89, just 47%, made only 10 3-pointers, well below their season average, into the teens. Free throws stunk tonight, too, for what it's worth, which is not much. Knicks missed 7 free throws. They were 11 of 18. We talk about the assist numbers and how much they correlate to Knick wins. More of the same tonight. We use the benchmark of 30-plus assists, usually means a Knick win. When they get or dish out 30-plus assists in a game, the Knicks are 20-2. Tonight, they did not get there. 25 assists to 16 turnovers. Not a good ratio, and the points off turnovers, just like the points in the paint, were killer tonight as Cleveland roughed up New York. The Cavaliers dished out 38 assists. Amazing numbers. They also out-rebounded the Knicks 47-32. And again, a big reason why, no Josh Hart tonight. Now, Josh Hart is not a 30-point-per-game player, but he does fill the box score, and he is certainly a glue guy. And the Knicks certainly missed him tonight. Would that have changed the outcome? Who knows? Odds are no. They lost by almost 40 points. But again, Josh Hart is a hustle player, is a glue guy, one that the Knicks certainly missed tonight. Would have been nice to have him. Again, the Knicks finished their back-to-back with a win over Chicago and a big loss to Cleveland. Remember, folks, what's interesting, and we touched on this at the top of the show, what's interesting is difficult schedule for both teams, but it leveled itself out. Here's what I mean. They both played last night in New York. Cleveland was in Brooklyn playing the Nets. The Knicks obviously playing the Bulls at Madison Square Garden. So they both played last night. Both started at 7:30 Eastern. Both won. Both traveled to Cleveland. So they roughly the same amount of miles. Roughly get in at the same time. And obviously the day goes the same during game day. So again, interesting stuff. They played, they both won, they both traveled the same amount of miles, and look what happened. Seemed like the Knicks were tired. The Cavs were not. We'll take a quick break. Still have to do the standings and, of course, the schedule. But we also want to check in on the numbers for OG because he returned tonight. We'll tell you what I mean coming up. All right, NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you save. Thanks to Dash Pass, every time a player drops 50 or more points in a game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's simple. When any player scores 50 or more in a game during the 24-25 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order, up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Here are a few ways you can take advantage of the deal. Planning to catch the next game? Order your go-to snacks and meals at a discount. Get ready for more high-scoring action. Need a quick and easy lunch the next day? With Dash Pass, you get your favorite meals with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees. Plus, now you save even more with this exclusive NBA offer. Whether you're staying up watching highlights or just need a midnight snack, use Dash Pass to grab something delicious while saving big. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate by ordering wings, pizza, or burgers from your favorite spot delivered straight to your door. Sign up for Dash Pass. Be ready to save. When any player scores 50 or more in a game, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order the next day, up to $10 off. Just use promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more. All right, segment number 2 of the show. Knicks finish the back-to-back in Cleveland, and they do so quite poorly. blown out by the Cavs tonight, 142-105. The Knicks fall to 37-19 overall. They are 17-9 away. And as we discussed and will continue to discuss, the schedule is absolutely brutal moving forward. All right. Since the OG trade from Toronto to New York, we talked about the success of the Knicks with OG in the lineup because there has been some time that he has missed, including the last 6 games. So of those games since the trade to the Knicks, OG and the Knicks, when he has played, 52-21. Without him, 18-15. So roughly around 500 without him, well above 500 with him. So pays to have OG back in the lineup. And again, he missed the last 6 games, has not played since February 1st. That's the Laker game, the Saturday night game against LeBron and the Lakers. Again, February 1st, and he left that game early. So it's been a while. Really haven't seen him since late January. Again, his first game since February 1st, missed the last 6 games. 18-15 with OG in the lineup since the trade. Without OG in the lineup since the trade. With him, much different story, 52-21. All right, we told you OG back. Josh Hart, still considered day-to-day, but you figured he might get one of these games with a back-to-back situation is. So now I'm a little bit more worried about Josh Hart than I was last night. As for Mitchell Robinson, we told you he was cleared for practice 2 weeks ago, eventually cleared for contact. He has now been cleared for 5-on-5. It's just a matter of time before we see him back. Will it be Sunday in Boston? Who knows? And who knows if Josh Hart plays on Sunday in Boston as well. But again, Mitchell Robinson, according to reports, still has no timetable for his return from that left ankle surgery. All right, the Knicks bench points tonight, obviously, is going to be a higher number because the bench got plenty of minutes. It's a direct correlation to the high minutes from the starters, low minutes from the bench, mean low point performances from the bench. Every player who played tonight for the Knicks scored, including everyone off the bench with the exception of Tyler Kolek, who was the only player on either side not to suit up, or at least not to play in this game. As we told you, not a single member of the Knicks played at least 30 minutes tonight. And considering there were plenty of Knicks, in fact, 4 of them that were over 40 last night, no surprise. And once the game got out of hand, really in the second half, late third quarter, certainly in the early fourth quarter stages, it was garbage time, and it should have been. The Knicks have now given up at least 100 points in 23 of their last 25 games. They barely got to 100 themselves tonight. Karl Anthony Towns, as we told you, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. However, no double-double. So he has now played 51 games this season. Remember, the Knicks have played 56. He's missed 5 of them. Knicks 2 and 3 without Towns in the lineup. He now has 42 double-doubles in 51 games. Of course, we spoke about the minutes. Bridges and Hart and Anunoby all in the top 10 for minutes per game. Obviously, no Hart tonight, and obviously the minutes down for OG played just 27. And Bridges played just 29. As we said, Knicks 42 of 89 from the floor, just 47%, certainly below their season average. And again, the Knicks had just 3 players in double figures, 14 for Bridges, and then the 2 20-point plus performances from Cat and from the captain. Remember the days of 2 to 3 week consecutive stretches where all 5 starters were in double figures. In fact, there were many nights early in the season, October, November, December, specifically December, which was an amazing month for the Knicks. There was plenty of times where more than 5 guys in the lineup scored double digits. 6 and 7 guys total were putting up over 10 points. As we said, just 3 players tonight over 10 points. 14 for Bridges, 23 for Cat, and Jalen Brunson led the way with 26. That includes 16 in the very first quarter tonight. All right, we'll take our final break of the postcast. We'll do the schedule and the standings coming up next. All right, when the NBA game tips off, the action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on it than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting. Whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch three, I never feel like I missed my chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, final segment of the show. Knicks finished their back-to-back in Cleveland. They beat the Bulls last night by 2. In fact, 113-111 in overtime. And tonight, a much different story. No overtime needed for the Cavs. They destroy the lowly Knicks. It seemed like the lowly Knicks tonight. 142-105. Now, there are clear delineations between elite teams and the next level down. I think we can safely say Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City, all teams the Knicks have faced this year, all teams the Knicks have lost to this year, those are the elite teams in the NBA. Knicks are not on that level. I would think the next level down was pretty appropriate for where the Knicks are. However, these games against good teams like Oklahoma City, specifically Boston and Cleveland, and the Lakers, the Knicks are losing these games, some by a lot. In fact, they lost to the Lakers and the Celtics consecutive Saturday nights. They lost to the Lakers by 16, to the Celtics by 27, and now to Cleveland by 37. What's interesting about tonight is the Knicks, believe it or not, 2 separate times this season to the Celtics trailed by 37. Figured they wouldn't get there tonight. They trailed by 41, their single largest deficit of the season. And again, just to go over some amazing numbers from the Cleveland side, 6 straight wins, 10 of 11, 41-0 when leading after 3 quarters. 34 of 46 victories this season have come by double digits. 61 straight games with at least 10 3-pointers, going all the way back to last season. So really amazing stuff. Again, the Cavs 26-4 at home now, and obviously they're going to have home court throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs. They pick up a game on the Knicks, and they pick up a half game on the Celtics tonight to Cleveland. The Cavs are now 46-10. They lead the Celtics by 6 and the Knicks by 9. Now you figure, oh God, 9 games behind, we're done. Well, here's the rub. The Cavs are clearly going to win the East. The Celtics are definitely going to be in the 2-hole. The Knicks are definitely going to be in the 3-hole. That's the way things have shaked out so far. Pacers, Bucks, and Pistons well behind the Knicks. So it looks like it's the Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, 1, 2, 3, and it really looks like things will stay that way. As for the Western Conference, you know by now how good the Thunder are. They are 44-10. They, too, have a comfortable lead over the Nuggets and Grizzlies, 8 games over those two in the Western Conference. As for the schedule, it is brutal. If we start from tonight, obviously, where the Cavs beat the Knicks. Next up, obviously, Boston. That is a Sunday game in Boston. They're rivals, but the Celtics own the Knicks right now, so it's kind of hard to call it a rivalry. It will always be a rivalry, quote unquote, But right now it's one-sided. All right, so you get Boston at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Early tip time, brutal. Home for the Sixers the following Wednesday. The Knicks will be off Monday and Tuesday. They'll get the Sixers in what seems like one of those games you got to get. Then on the road for Memphis and Miami. Return home for the Warriors before the 5-game, 11-day Western Conference swing, which begins Thursday, March 6th. Lakers, Clippers, Kings, Blazers, and then the Warriors again in San Francisco. The Knicks don't return home until March 17th. So an absolutely brutal schedule that the Knicks are in the midst of. Again, they won 3 in a row, beating Indiana, Atlanta, and Chicago, but they lose to Cleveland tonight, 142-105. And they have Boston up next Sunday at 1 Eastern. All right, your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. Introducing the Locked On Knicks Daily Newsletter, one stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Knicks newsletter. Also want to mention our partners in crime, the All-Stars. Gavin Shaw and Alex Wolf. They handle all the stuff at Locked On Knicks. So follow them, subscribe, do what you need to do, and of course, enjoy. So the Knicks lose by a lot, 142-105. The Cavaliers are comfortably in front of the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are comfortably in that 3-hole, and it looks like that's how things are shaking out. Remember, folks, before you say, what is he talking about, playoffs, there's 26 games remaining. This is a sprint to the finish now. The meat of the schedule is behind us. The dog days are behind us. The All-Star break is behind us. The trading deadline is behind us. Now it's all about warmer temps and playoff basketball. Again, Knicks Celtics on Sunday. We'll be with you immediately following. See you then. Have a great night.